Hi everyone, I'm Ollie, a consultant at the Information Lab, and I'm going to be guest hosting Tiny Tableau Tips this week. I'm going to be taking you through 10 really quick shortcuts you can use with your keyboard on Tableau Desktop that are going to make your life a whole lot easier. So some of these are for worksheets, some are for dashboards, and I've included one right at the end which has saved me hours of time whilst formatting large dashboards, so definitely stick around for that. But let's get straight into it. I've got an old workbook open here, and the first tip I'm going to show you is resizing charts using Control and the arrow keys. So if I hold Control and use left and right, I'm going to make my bar chart here either wider or narrower, and then Control and the up and down buttons is going to make it either taller or shorter. For the second tip, we can easily swap our columns and our rows using Control W. As you can see here, that's just going to flip the pills between columns and rows. Maybe not so useful in this instance, but if you have maybe a table where you've got lots of pills up on columns and rows, it can be really useful, saving yourself from dragging all the different pills down. For the third tip now, we're going to be navigating sheets using the shortcut, which is Control Tab to move right between sheets, and then Control Shift Tab to move left between sheets. So I'm going to navigate here to our closed donut, which is going to take me nicely onto our fourth tip, which once again is accessing the formatting panel, this time to make charts either bigger or smaller. So I find this really useful with pie charts, and that's Control B to make it smaller, or Control Shift B, as you can see, is going to make it bigger. Now for our final tip within worksheets is going to be Control E, which is going to bring up the sheet description. So I find this really useful if you're maybe handing over a dashboard. The sheet description is going to kind of tell you everything that you've pulled in there, whether that be the dimensions there, the measures, the parameters, and even the data source details you have there. So if you're handing over a dashboard, the sheet description and Control E can be a really useful tool. I'm going to navigate along to my dashboard now. So those are the first 5 tips that I've shown you. The good thing about all these tips is that although they work within a dashboard, within a sheet, sorry, they also work within a dashboard as long as you have the sheet that you want to apply it to selected. So as you can see here, I've left my bar chart the wrong way around, but if I hold Control W there, that's going to switch back our columns and rows and fix it. So now we're in the dashboard, I'm going to move on to the 6th tip, which is grid lines. So if you simply press G whilst in a dashboard, you can see that the grid lines pop up. So this can be really useful whilst formatting dashboards and making them look pretty, making sure everything's lined up and symmetrical. You might want to make use of those grid lines there. I'm going to pop them off for now and move on to the 7th tip, which is once again just a single key, this time T. T is going to toggle between our dashboard and our layout pane there. So if you're fine-tuning, positioning and sizing, it can be useful just to quickly flick between the two of them. Now I'm on my dashboard pane. I'm going to move on to tip 8, which is floating sheets. So as you can see here, I've got one sheet which isn't in the dashboard. Now if I want to bring that in normally, you can see it's going to kind of lock onto all our containers here. But if I hold shift whilst bringing it in, it's going to bring it in as a floating sheet, meaning I can put it kind of wherever I want there. I'm going to remove that for now and move on to the 9th tip, which is dashboard actions, and that will be Control Shift D to pull up your actions. So if you've got a dashboard which has got a load of actions in and you need to keep adding different highlights or filters or parameter actions, then Control Shift D is going to quickly pull up that screen rather than finding it within the menu. Now last and by no means least is bringing up sheet tooltips from a dashboard. Now this is the one that I was talking about earlier, which I think has honestly saved me hours of time whilst formatting dashboards. So if I have a sheet selected here and I go and click Alt W O, that is going to bring up my tooltips. And if you've ever formatted a large dashboard and need to do a load of tooltips at once, I think we can all relate that going back into all sheets and changing the tooltips individually and making sure they all match up can be a real hassle. So using Alt-WO to pull up the tooltips directly from the dashboard is one of the most useful shortcuts there are. While we're on formatting, I'm going to do one quick bonus tip, and that's making use of the swapping sheets function. So if we're looking at my map here and I go to the layout, and let's say I want to add a border to this map and maybe some padding as well, and we have our map just how we like it there. But then maybe I decide that that's not actually the right sheet that I want to use there, and I actually want to use this map too, as you can see. Now I could pull that in and rejig the formatting again to make it look the way I want it to. But if I just come here and use this swap sheets function, as you can see, that's going to put that sheet right into the sheet that I had selected, and it's going to keep all the formatting that we had on the previous sheet. So that's something really useful whilst formatting dashboards. So yeah, that's 10 shortcuts plus the bonus to make your Tableau desktop life hopefully a little bit easier. Try some of these out and let me know if they help you.